Like ultimately, a lot of times it's just about being more. You know, it's not about obtaining more or like anything like that. I'm not saying that these things aren't important. I'm not saying that money's not important and all these things and having goals is not important. I'm not saying that. You know, is sort of those things that will make the betterment of your life, make your life more comfortable, more towards you. It brings forth more ideas and so on and so forth. You're very limited when you lack the resources to do more things. You know, very limited. But it shouldn't matter where you are. You know, it shouldn't matter what the circumstances are. You still have to be. You know, you still have to be more. It's that great saying, wherever you go, there you are. And when it comes to that, if you think that, you know, like you're just going to just be at these like great places, we want this great abundant life and everything else, and we're still going to be the same limited self. We're not going to be productive. We're not going to take care of our bodies. And I know, like, a lot of times that's not how it works. Wherever you are, regardless if you're in the hood or in the mansion, you have to be more. You have to be more superior. You have to be more of a superior being. Add more value to yourself. Bring more service. What do you bring to the universe? What values that you hold that will serve the universe the best way? And it's those type of things that brings you it sort of brings you to that place. You know, it kind of brings you the abundance automatically because you're being something, you're being more of something. You know, you're being more of something. You gotta be productive. You know, you gotta be more creative. You gotta add more shit to your fitness. You gotta be consistent. You gotta be consistent. Consistent dominates perfection all the time. Consistency dominates perfection all the time. As long as you're consistent, with what you want to do, what you want to bring forth into this, regardless if you want to learn something, regardless if you want to master something, regardless if you have a certain goal in mind, consistency is key. And that consistency, excuse me, there's going to be that consistency that's going to make you more of a superior being, make you more of a dominant being, make you more of a fucking divine being. Well, it always starts with you. It always starts with you. And I was talking about this about perfection. Because ultimately we can't fucking aim towards perfection. Can't do it. We can't aim towards perfection when it comes to a lot of these things. And especially when, since we live in such an imperfect world, we live such in a place where by default it's imperfect. And sometimes that's what makes it perfect. It is nature. You can't do nothing about it, you know? The only thing you can do is be a superior being that you are, being the ultimate supreme being that you are. The universe manifests into form. Gotta be ultimately that. Regardless of what the circumstances are, that's just who you have to be. Be more, be more. Be more towards yourself. Sometimes you can't just go to the distractions and everything else. Because everything's gonna always try to pull you into something else. Especially when you know that in some way, shape, or form, there's some, like you don't have it all figured out yet and everything else. That's just some shit that you can't afford. There's a lot of things that you can't afford. But there you are. That's just the ultimate of ultimates. So like it's not about the lack thereof. It's about the lack that you're doing. You're not strong. You're not strong in your conduction when it comes to your life. Like I think that's the right way to say it. I think that's the right way to say it. Yeah, all these things about how you carry your life and everything else, those things do matter. Your schedule, your planning, all that shit. That shit do matter. I think, I think, I say that a lot, but if ultimately, if anything for anything, right? If for future reference, I think all we're really trying to do is just get back to that inner child. Ultimately. Well, at least that's how I'm trying to get back to that. Where we're just adventurous, not really judging anything for anything. Life just is what it is. But sometimes a little bit of an ego, or sometimes just the past, because there's things that we just naturally survived, like we naturally went through, and we was all right. Some wounds, quote unquote, some wounds are deeper than the others, and everything else. And yeah, that's cool. But ultimately, all this shit just keeps going. All this shit just keeps going. It goes and goes and goes. in some cases, I don't think you can really stop that. I don't think you can really stop that process. Not even a little bit. Because in some cases, it's just about automatic acceptance, you know? Accepting things as they are. You see the beauty in everything. It's just indifferent. Because, no, like, not everything's going to be perfect. Like, we kind of see it in the world today that everything's not fucking perfect. And, you know, you fucking, it is a lonely path because, bro, like, you know, like, I'm not even gonna say that you're against, like, it's mainly you at the end of the day. But, and everything else is just a reflection. But if you want to just talk to you for a second. You're talking to a crowd full of sheep. A lot of times it's just not going to work. You know, a lot of these things is not going to work. A lot of the things you say and everything else, you're trying to be this great big superhero after fucking the awakening and everything else. You know, sometimes, man, you have to know the fact that the truth lies within you. And yeah, like a lot of times, you know, you're not for everybody. There's some shit that you just have to accept with your fucking heart, you know? There's just some shit that the fact that you isn't for every fucking body. And that's okay. You're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be fucking perfect and everything else just so everybody can see you as that. You're supposed to be the supreme being living this one life with the universe. You're just supposed to just be who you are. And believe me, you are more than what you're doing. You're more than just, you know, the doom scrolling, you know, the lustful thoughts and all that shit. A lot of times you're more than all of that. And the universe knows that. That's why the universe brought you here. The universe, God, ultimately, that's why I brought you here. It's us that trips ourselves up. It's us that still consumes instead of just being. You can't be if you're just consuming and shit. You can't be. So in some cases, not some cases, but in sometimes you'll have to think. You have to be aware of what you're doing, but also let everything flow naturally. Let everything flow because that's how it's supposed to be. Peace, yes.